Hello, everybody. Thank you for the attention. My name is Fabio Hüther. I'm the co-founder of Evodrop. We are one honored sponsors of the Water Conference. So we want to say thank you that we can be a part of this exciting event. Um, the idea is to bring you near the technologies and our innovations and the studies and remarkable results we made with our water devices in the different fields. I started as a, a young engineer next to my bachelor degree when I was 17, 18 years old. The intention of the foundation of Evodrop was when I was a small child. When I were at the age of 9, I got bone cancer, and my mother tried to treat me with homeopathy and the Indonesian singing bowls. We had a lot of troubles with the Swiss government and medical doctors because they tried to put my parents into court because of abusing her own child. And so the idea was to find a way how can we bring natural alternative medicine and school medicine together without harming any party. And yeah, I had a 50% survival rate. Happy to be here in front of you. And yeah, there I got the first book wrote from my mother, which was from Dr. Bruce Lipton, The Intelligence of the Cells. And yeah, you may know when you are a small child, it's pretty amazing how much you absorb because you believe you're not influenced from the society. And I just believe that when I think positive, everything will be positive. And I try to attract this or manifest this positivism. And yeah, it worked. I'm fully healed and I have all the documents at my home because in one day I want to make a documentary and give hope to other peoples that they do not give up the fight on cancer, because I trust and know that it's possible to heal it under certain conditions, definitely. And yeah, as you may know, we have also the Ubuntu Foundation. So the first intention of me was to bring clean water to the people. I developed a ultra nano membrane, I will come to that later, and bring clean water to Asia and Africa. The problem was the people were not so familiar with these technologies and didn't want to support it because of political interests. And I saw that the only way as a young engineer is to develop my own company and do it in the private sector, get enough money to help the people there. For sure, even in Europe, we need help. It's not that we just have to help yeah, people in Asia or Africa. It's needs around the world. But through the Cancer Foundation in Switzerland, I had the connection with Amnesty International in Gambia, and I got my own godchild in Brikama, and he died after 9 months, according to the polluted water and food, and that was then the last impulse which I saw the the universe or however tried to push me in that direction, that I go now this path and try to solve it. Um, yeah, now we are around 50 peoples. We have 30 studies on different institutions and laboratories. We made around 18 different international patents and 9 special treatments. We are happy to be a partner and a donor to the World Water Community and a lot of others which try to make the world a better place. We won a lot of awards from the sustainable technologies and the movement we created, because from every sold product, there is a part of the money going into our non-profit organization where, you know, we plant some trees to make the water recirculation or the water cycle holistic again. We have also built some schools to train like ecopreneurship. We call it ecopreneurship. And we made also biodynamic farming according to Bill Mollison with permaculture. We made a permaculture course, and also from Rudolf Steiner with biodynamic Demeter. Yes, and for sure we also build water fountains and water filtration for the people in need. Um, yeah, in all these talks here was a lot about watering, information programming, structuring, but not a lot about what's in our water chemically. And that's a really important part because, yeah, there are two different topics and philosophies, if you have to treat water or not, how you have to treat it. At the end, for us, we made some studies on the frequency field on people, and for sure you could measure that when people drink the pure filtered water, even if it was injected with, for example, nitrate, it was filtered out from the body much better than with normal tap water. So that was for us the symbol and the investigation that water needs to be pure as possible to work as a cleaning tool in our body. We do not need like alkaline, ionized water and stuff like that. For us, it was clear that it needs to be at first part pure, and after how you try to make it bionic, structured, coherent, however you want to name it, it's definitely also an important part. But first, it's the filtration state, because when you look at it in mineral water, is according to the European laws, it's mostly tested on 12 different pollutants. And even then, that pollutants are not even pollutants. Mostly they are minerals and bacteria. And tap water in Switzerland and Germany is around 50 pollutants. And the possible pollutants in the world is every day on 30,000. We tested our water filter successfully on 614 different pollutants, because this was the maximum which in every Swiss laboratory could be done at that moment. We have like drinking water systems. Yesterday I made a poster presentation about hydrogen water and filtered dynamized water. And I mentioned before, with the Evo filter, we made a patent on this. You see it looks like reverse osmosis, but we call it, it's like a ultra nano membrane, which has special layers. I will show you that later, which we successfully tested on these 614 different pollutants, and make the water as pure as possible, eliminate the calcium sulfate, which cannot be absorbed from the body, right? Because there is a lot of scam outside the world, which distilled water will dehydrate your body and will kill you, and they make some old scientific cucumber test how the osmosis effect will kill, and that's completely wrong, because you cannot test a cucumber on distilled water and then explain how the osmosis process works. We are now creating the new blood osmosis circulation phenomena and model, and it will be published soon. Hopefully at the beginning next year, to show the people that that's not true. What's outside in the world. The patent is on the layers, different layer sheet, how the water is going inside these membranes and how it comes outside. The problem, according to reverse osmosis, is that you have a lot of wastewater for 1 liter clean water. You have the problem with fouling. This means problem with bacteria, because the wastewater needs to be connected on the drainage. So you have the siphon, mainly in the kitchen. And even if you have like a flow restrictor, this doesn't mean that germs and bacteria don't grow back. So that's also a theoretically model which is not working in the practice, right? And that's how the germs go back. They grow on the membrane sheets because It's mainly produced on different plastics like polysulfone, polyamides, and the bacteria love to grow on this, yes, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen groups. This will cause fouling, and this fouling may clog the membranes. Then you have the problem with scaling, because a lot of our waters are full with scale. So primary from calcium and magnesium, and this will clog the membranes, and you have to change it often. And so that was our intention, to create these membranes better, because we believe that with membranes we can clean the water as good as possible, because we have projects also in Australia or other continents where they have so high nitrate level, which you need ion exchange or stuff like that, but there is also a chemical needed. This ion exchange will be released inside the water, and at the moment we do not know what with these metabolites. The same is with plasma or ozone wastewater treatment. We create with that technology metabolites which create at the end much more harmful, potentially much more harmful substances that the origin of the substance. So we do things which we even don't know what could happen, because we cannot measure it. And so we say the best should be to eliminate everything. To visualize you how deep it is, you go on 0.9 nanometers. So there is just space for a few minerals which can pass also the aquaporins and the membrane, so even the aquaporins in our own body cells. And yeah, for sure the hydrogen and the oxygen, and everything else will be removed. Here you see it really, the difference, how big a hair is. Viruses, mostly the people here, you know the different sizes, but not on how big are, let's say, nitrates or other nanoplastics, microplastics, pesticides, and heavy metals. A lot of people are using carbon filters and think they have at the end the best water, but with carbon filters you cannot eliminate heavy metals, and you cannot eliminate viruses, you cannot eliminate nitrates and substances in this area. You need special filtration, like American innovator, which make like the KDF 55, which is a redox reaction from zinc and copper, which could make in the redox potential an adsorption from heavy metals as much as possible. But even then, there is the problem of other metals inside. Here we have the Evo charge. We try to figure out, according to so many different scientists, how can you make a coherent or a structuring or an order inside the water. And we developed and patented like a rotation jet. And with this rotation jet, we want to stimulate Earth magnetic field and the vortexes, because we don't believe that how Schaubergers and others started their work with a right spin, that water always have to be a right spin. It's not like the cells, or if you producing pharmaceuticals, how it's really important. We know that from the 1950s or 60s, when they made the pharmaceuticals for pregnant women, and the atomic spin from this pharmaceutical was on the wrong spin, and that's why the toddlers, when they were born, had no arms and bones, legs and arms. You may know that was a horrible story, and that was just because the spin of the atoms was wrong, in the wrong direction of this pharmaceutical. Here is also the pattern, what we try to do with programming with low and high frequencies. We put inside, we think that it need first information you have from UV lights, you have from the water treatment, need to be neutralized, because when you even measure distilled water, which comes from the wastewater or city public water treatment. There is still information there. We measured that with radionic and high frequency spectrometers to see what's even if it's in distilled water information there. So our intention was to first eliminate this unvisible information field, neutralize it, and then upload it with a new frequency or a spectrum matrix, which could be drunk daily. And because there is also a lot of problems inside different kind of frequencies. The same is like with homeopathy. You should not consume it daily. There is, according to Hahnemann, you have to do different bridges, right? And have different kind of diluted water to bring out toxins. And if you use it as a daily consumption, you can harm your body more, even with homeopathy, than it would support your own body. So the idea was to find frequencies which can be drinking from people daily and not just as a cure for a week or so. Here we made it this or last week. I'm super happy in the Plants Journal from the MDPI on the studies, the clustering structure of the Harblea. It's a well-known scientific plant which are used for hydration, and we could show that with even pure water, which has the right, for example, the right currency or the structure or ordering, can bring better hydration. And with this study, we showed that it's absolutely wrong to tell people that pure water or even distilled water is harmful for the human body. We could show, also leaned on other studies made from the Goethe University in Germany, which was tested on 243 different kind of minerals and tap waters, which show that the bioavailability of minerals in water is just 5 up to 30%. So according to the data baseline from Switzerland, Germany, and Austria, you have to drink around 20 or 40 liters. And you may know that if you drink around 10 liters a day, you will die of water toxicity. So makes no sense. It shows that we need minerals. You can be really extreme, like a yogi, and say, okay, I got everything from cosmical fields. However, I don't know how they do that. I'm not so far. But at the end, we could show that you should use the minerals from the plants. Even if you are eating meat or cheese, whatever, it's processed through the grass or the plants which cows or pigs, whatever, ate, because the plants make a gelios shell through the inorganic minerals and make them organic, and then you have a bioavailability which is much higher than the inorganic minerals inside tap water or everything else. That was just the difference from red. You see, it's the R water and the tap water. I will come back on that later. Here we could see that we measured also nanodroplets. So for us, because based on Peter Agne's work and Nobel Prize on aquaporins, we wanted to figure out what kind of DINs, molecule strength, does water need to really penetrate the cells. And a lot of scientists in the water field say that you need a lot of nanoclusters. Others say it's a scam. And we make a mathematical model with the Gaussian distribution to figure out how much nanoclusters we could create inside the water. And we tested it on different water, from glaciers to really well-known mineral waters. And we could show that if we are using the bionic state of engineering together with living force of the water we already have, that we can create a water which is yeah, really helpful. Here again, you see that Gaussian distribution, the mathematical model where we analyzed the water on the red. You don't see it so very well, but all the studies are transparent and published on our website or in different kind of journals. You will also find it on my, depending on ResearchGate, on my account, where you can see and read it much more in detail, because otherwise I will not be finished. And we also try a lot of different, what can we do, like Emoto, what can we do, like we work together with Konstantin in the advisory board to find out how the gas discharge could show what kind of water we really need. And also we find out that based on the GDV cameras, it's also mainly affected on minerals. So it also shows it's just one part of the medal, and even we could show that you cannot summarize just by one technology or one measurement that you figure out what kind of water quality is good. It could also show you just, as I mentioned before, one part of the medal, and this can then be also a little bit of problem. That's what we have a huge how should I say, multi-level marketing from different kind of alkaline and ionized water. Japan and Korea started now with their own FDA to warn the local people. You can find that on the internet, on Wikipedia's, on Google, sorry, that you should drink alkaline ionized water just in cures and not on daily basis. I do not want to shame or be disrespectful to any of these companies. There is for sure no bad intention of everyone. It's a really difficult field of water. We all know that. Yes. So, and here we could show, for example, that with the tap water and even with our pure water, which there is no inside of any powerful, rich ionized minerals, that there is a volt difference from 1.06, and yeah, this should be another, according to these scientists and studies, an effect on memory or coherency of the water and the energy potential. We also try radionics, so bioenergetic tests, to figure out, okay, how can we stimulate the human body? Do you get really all the parameters in the body shaken and awaken, or is there some part which can be harmful inside the water? And we made that at Dr. Kempe's Institute. It was really amazing. She called me then after and said, that's one of the waters which really activate in every state. And for us, it's not that I'm here to say you that we are the best. That's not the intention. It's just the idea that we want as engineers always to figure out, are we on the right way or not? Because if we are wrong, it's really important that we immediately change, because we do not want to harm anyone. That's our highest motto, right? Not to harm anyone. We want to do it right, and we want to learn, and on every spectrum to make the best. And according to the problems with ionized alkaline water, we say that water should be neutral and as pure as possible. And when you have alkaline ionized water, you need minerals mainly inside the water, that you get like the electrolysis working and shifting minerals positive and negative. And with our proton exchange membrane development, there is no need of shifting of minerals. There is no shifting and changing in the pH or affecting on scaling or on chlorination. And it's really just pure H2 which we produce. There is a huge, on the last bullet point, there are around 700 different scientists We made a good study with Sergej Ostjovic in Serbia and the University from Norway. He was honored yesterday from Oxford as one of the 2% of the best scientists in this field into the world for nutrition. So he's a really enlightening person, and we could show even in 30 years old, plus minus 1 year, that if the people drank hydrogen water, their reaction and cognitive resonance and effects reaction were much faster. And I mean, we talk about people which are just 30 years old, so it's really impressive how it works. The effect is really simple, and also the patent, how we make the proton exchange membrane. It's according to the name, exchanging and bringing the hydrogen ions through the membrane and bring out the free oxygen. So it's not that we bring something inside the water, it's already in the water, and we just make the hydrogen, make it free available, and the oxygen and others, ozone and radicals which could be built, will be removed through the drain. And so we have around, depending always on temperature, on pressure, on the energy current, you have around 800 up to 1,200 ppb, so parts per billion content on hydrogen. The most studies were done just with 400 or 500 ppb, so much lower. Here we made investigation in a neutral laboratory, so a third laboratory in Korea, to show how good are we or not, what should we do better. And here you really see on the water temperature, which is on the left side down, has a really important factor on the oxidative redox potential in the water, and also on how much hydrogen we get inside. That's really important because in Switzerland or Germany the water is always cold, so that means we need more power to get the same amount of hydrogen inside. That was also on the poster pitch yesterday, where we made a cancer study on hamsters. It was not so funny for us because we didn't want to do animal testings, but these animals were already born or something like that with it, and we had the hope to help these genetics on hamsters that they could survive. And it's really difficult because it's an unhealable cancer. Not a lot of people have it, around 15,000-20,000 in the world. And we try to figure out, okay, what hydrogen water have for an impact. And you will see the lethality. It's on the left side. The green one is the normal distilled water, and the red graph is our laboratory distilled water, just with our hydrogen device. And instead of 30 up to 35 days, they lived 60 plus days. And this is really impressive because it shows that hydrogen, because it's docks on the ATP level, it's like the strongest selective antioxidants. It's according to materialistic science, it's 84 times smaller than a vitamin C. And because it's selective, that means it's not like other coenzymes 10 or vitamin C's, which can be an antioxidant, but if they are adopted from the cells, they are at the end also small free radicals and need to be transported through the body and neutralized again. And also they dock and bond on oxidants which are really important from the homeostasis, right? So not all oxidants are harmful for us. We need the homeostasis. And the benefit, this is a huge study made from Japan in 2011, which showed that hydrogen rudder is really a selective antioxidant. That means it does not dock and bond on healthy homeostasis oxidants. We also made a lot of real estate because next to our studies, it's also important to run the business, generate the money to finance all the studies and research. And a lot of people have their own houses and living spaces. It's important for us that we can bring them into the whole house, pure water, clean water as much as possible. And also a huge problem is, according to a study in Barcelona, which are made in, I don't know, remember 2014 from their university, which show that chlorination in water is based on cancerous states because it can be bonded directly to the DNA sequences in the human body. And a lot of people have chlorinated water. They shower, drink always this water, and do not know what happened. You can easily do a test by yourself by a colored chlorination test. Use 2 glasses of water, put inside your hand for around 26-30 seconds, and then made the chlorination test in this glass, and you will see there is even no free chlorine more available. And this was shown into the study that even after 26 or 25 up to 30 seconds, the chlorine is absorbed through our skin. And we all know next to our lungs, it's one of the biggest organs we have, and it needs to be clean and hold it pure to get out the toxins. And yeah, the second problem is that we have a lot of water softeners. California named it a few years ago in 26 states that there is not allowed anymore the usage of water softenings because water softeners will bring salts inside the environment. So you change sodium chloride to magnesium and calcium and remove them 90%, and sodium goes directly inside your tap water, and the chloride goes directly with the magnesium and also the calcium inside the waste, and this will build like a salinity on the water and the wastewater, which is not anymore can be handled from the biotope or the biodiversity in the environmental field. So we developed and make a patent on apple amino acid where we could bond the scaling. I will show you that here on the calcium carbonates and magnesium components without removing them, without the usage of salts, which could harm. Sodium is not even, we know that, you can read a lot of books and studies, which is not really good for our health condition, so we should avoid industrial salts as much as possible because it dog on our human body and the organisms and in the cell circular level and remove important components. And yeah, with that technology, we have a strong power to avoid water softening with salts and help the environment and also human beings and at once. We made a lot of certification because, as you know, the same that your lab maybe have ISO certification. We at the producer need also, for example, in America and Arabic Emirates, Australia, we need the FDA, we need Aero HS, CEs and MOCAs and ISO certification that we could show that we do not harm the human body and the environment. based on the study which was made in Barcelona, we started and said, okay, it cannot be that people use chlorination for the swimming pools and let their children swim day by day into a chlorinated swimming pool. That was shocking for us, that there is not more consciousness and awareness. So we developed a system, made a patent on it, which works completely on a natural basis to create clean water without the usage of bromine or chlorine. And you can eliminate all the viruses, bacteria, algae in the pool, which is also then important to drinking water supplies, because a lot of water cannot be used daily because it's chlorinated and people have no choice or no money and drink this water instead of get dehydration. What we also started, what I mentioned also yesterday in the poster presentation, is our Evo Agri technology, which is based on the Evo Pool technology. So we have 2 patents on this technique, because we saw that a lot of the water is used in agriculture. So 70% is used in agriculture, 29% is used in the industry, and just 1% is drinking water. So the focus should be how can we save water in agriculture without attacking any fertilizer companies or pharmaceutical companies, just to be like in the symbiosis with them and say in a way of saving water. A lot of countries, like you have in USA, you have it in South America, you have it in whole Africa, in Asia, Australia, New Zealand, you get more and more a higher salinity in the water. So this means that you have more and more salts inside the water. Plants cannot absorb the water anymore. They got the stress, and then when they have stress with the salts, means that they will die. And this is a huge problem, because you need then making desalination plants, which cost a lot of money. And even if you're producing desalination plants, means you have a lot of wastewater, which is full of this salinity, and you need to put them in some way. And yes, that's a huge problem. And so we tried with this technology, what can we do that we do not have to treat saline water with desalination plants, so reverse osmosis or special electrolyzed membranes. And we could show that we had a higher infiltration rate. We made studies in Switzerland, in Egypt, in Burundi, in Uganda, in Congo, in Australia, in Italy. You will find all the publications from these 8 or 9 different universities around the world on our website. And you see that the infiltration rate will be much higher according to our product, without the usage of removing with chemicals or desalination. And we had up to 20%, means depending on the crop. We had sometimes 7%, we also had 30%. We could save a lot of water. So according to the usage in agriculture, we would save many billions of water every year just by installing this machine inside the irrigation system by the farmers. And we think it should be the time that the government and the farmer association speak money for that, because we need, according to the UN, we have around 60 earning periods on the dried soil, on eroded soil. And if we get like a better infiltration rate and can handle the stress from the salts and the higher and lower temperature, we can make agriculture really regenerative and sustainable. This is like the patent. It's really simplified. In the electronics and in the hydrolysis system, but it's the main function how it works with these 3 components. So we are here to participate, and we are looking always for scientists, for laboratories, for people which are open to do new testing. We are here to get challenged. We want to do it day by day better. And as young scientists, we have hope to collaborate with other generations. We want to learn. And yeah, hopefully we get some new contacts where we can do it better, learn from you too, and yeah, make the world together a better place and make it sustainable for the next generation. That's the intention of our company. Thank you for the attention.